Now it gets real. And now it is time for Aaron Rodgers to flex, and flex he will. To the point where I fully expect Aaron Rodgers to be an MVP finalist. And if Aaron Rodgers is not an MVP finalist, then we've kind of wasted a lot of time tripping over ourselves, rolling out the red carpet for this guy. I mean, now it's go time. And Aaron Rodgers is supposed to come out here starting Monday against the Buffalo Bills and throw a couple of touchdowns, and the Jets are supposed to win. And Aaron Rodgers is supposed to finish the season with 4,000-plus yards, minimally 30 touchdowns. I'd say more mid-ish 30s. I don't know if Boomer's prediction of 50 is, that seems a little ambitious. But honestly, I mean, what do you need here? You know, what else does Aaron Rodgers need? He's got everything he needs, you know? And it's not just the offensive weapons either. Like, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets right now. I was at the game on Saturday. It was fun. It was fun. It was cool. It was good to see him out there. I mean, the pop when he hit the field, it was energizing. It's like, I just looked out on the field a few times. I'm like, I can't believe this. Like, I can't. All the names, all the failed draft picks, all the flashes and then fizzles. And then this guy waltzes out and throws a back shoulder dime through a keyhole to one of the best receivers in football that maybe 3-4 other guys in the league can make. I mean, it's intoxicating stuff. It is. But now you got to do it all the time. I mean, like the Jets right now, and I think we know most of this, but the Jets defensive line, top 3 in football. Jets running back room. Oh, hey, Dalvin Cook hasn't even played yet. He'll be here soon. Top 3 running back room in football. You know, you want to be conservative and say Garrett Wilson right now is, maybe slightly nestled inside the top 10 as a wide receiver. I mean, this kid stays healthy. He's going to be a top 2, top 3 receiver. I mean, he was born to be that guy. You got 2 veteran tight ends who played in big games, who have good hands. He's got his coach. You got everything. Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be in the mix for an MVP. That's it. That is my expectation. Now, by the way, to be fair, all right, I do think, and I do get a little separation for myself, the belief and certainly the hope and the belief kind of all intertwined there, because there's hope and then there's conviction. I've got both with him. I hope he's going to be great, and I believe he's going to be great. But that is a little different, from the Jets getting to the Super Bowl and winning. Not that they can't. If Aaron Rodgers does as well as I think he's going to, they're going to be right there. But, the Jets, and I said this last week, and a lot of you took issue with this, if the Jets don't win the Super Bowl or if the Jets don't get to the Super Bowl, many of you will categorize this season as a failure. I don't think that that's right. I think that there's just too many variables, many of which you cannot control. So are you telling me that if we're sitting here in February or late January and the Jets lose, I don't know, I'm just throwing something out, 30-27 in Cincinnati, in Buffalo, in Kansas City, even at home to Kansas City, the Chargers, I think, will be really good this year as well, to one of those teams, right? And it's a 3-point game. There's no coaching gaffes. They don't turn the ball over. Rodgers plays well, but they just lose late to a team that's slightly better. We're going to classify that as a failure? No. And that is different from how I will view Rodgers. Like if Aaron Rodgers throws 3,400, goes for, and he's healthy, 3,400 yards, 22 touchdowns. No, that's not what we're signing up for. I'm signing up for Aaron Rodgers to step on that field every week and be the best quarterback on the field that week, so you want a little perspective because I threw out some broad parameters. 4,000 yards, 30-plus touchdowns, and, last year, 8 guys threw for 4,000-plus yards. Now, some of it is, I get this. If you're trailing, you're going to throw more. I get it. The Jets have a sick running back room. Their defense is sick, so if they're lighting teams up, Rodgers isn't going to be throwing 35 times a week. Listen, there's context to this for sure. But of the 8 quarterbacks who threw for 4,000-plus yards a year ago, Herbert, Brady's gone, Cousins, good, but he's not Rodgers. Burrow, stud. Goff, good, not Rodgers. Geno, interesting, not Rodgers. Trevor Lawrence eventually might be Rodgers, not yet. Josh Allen, stud, though I don't think he's Aaron Rodgers. He's got, just makes a few mistakes, even though he's a stud. I mean, those are the 8 names. Aaron Rodgers shouldn't be on that list. Of course he should be. And of course, there's one guy who threw for 5,000 yards. That's Patrick Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers is here. And this is where the cuteness and, he's got a mansion here. Oh, he's going to the Broadway shows. Oh, look, there's Rodgers cheering on Jalen Brunson, hanging out with Sauce and Jessica Alba. Must have been a good day. All these things he's doing, now it ends. Now it's go time. Now it's production time, and now it's win time. And I can't wait. I mean, I literally fully expect this guy to be amazing. I don't know how you expect anything else. Now, if you tell me that you think that he's washed based on what you saw last year in Green Bay or trending toward washed, I don't know anybody that thinks he's washed. But, a little bit past his prime, that's fine. I think we can certainly have a conversation about that. Me? No. This guy's going to fling it. He's going to slay it. The Jets are going to win a ton. The Jets will be, I believe, in the race for the top spot in the AFC. And if you're a quarterback and you've got the requisite numbers and your team wins a ton of games, you're on the short list for MVP. And that's where Rodgers should be, and that's where I think he will be. 877-337-6666. It is BT and Sal on the Fan. Sal is off today. Hey, the Licata crew came over yesterday to the crib. We had a good time. I'll tell you about that a little later. Great family. His daughter's, she's beautiful. And his wife is cool. He's like, yeah, the wife's getting along. Oh, I guess so are you and I. Nobody thought that we would. Here we are. So Sal is off this week. Guns a-blazing when he comes back Monday to start the show here, leading up to the Jets and the Giants. So it was an interesting atmosphere. Yeah, as a Jets fan who used to have season tickets and walk into that stadium, usually, especially back then, a little lathered up, shall we say? More mature now. I mean, it was like you walk in and you just, I hope this happens. If this kid progressive. Think about all the conversations that we've had with ourselves as we try to cajole enthusiasm to start a season. And this goes back, forever, but I'm not going to bore you with forever. Like the more recent snapshot, well, if, this guy becomes a player and Sam Darnold matures and this guy, oh my God, that's just, how tiring is that? How unacceptable is that after a while? You walk into the stadium, you hope you're not asleep at the half. You're watching a road game, you hope you're not like, all right, red zone time, this game's cooked, I don't need to watch the Jets anymore, it's over. That's over. And that is, it's the most exciting emotion you could possibly have. I've said for a while, and this pertains to everybody, just not the Jets. The ultimate feeling, clearly, is when your team wins. Yeah, you punctuate all the stuff with a championship, obviously. But this city doesn't really yield many championships. We know that, right? For most of the teams except the Yankees. Devils, couple, So it's largely without reward, big picture. So maybe it's because of, growing up here and losing a lot, quite frankly. To me, the most exciting part of being a fan, and this applies to these Jets, I'm connecting the two, obviously, is the ascent, the rise. You start drafting guys, you start seeing the future. It's obviously incredibly, like the light it's just shining through the tunnel. And now we're going into the tunnel. We're out of the darkness. And when we emerge from that tunnel, which has usually blinded us with darkness for decades, this team is the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite. And as I've told you, I'm not afraid to embrace these expectations. Let's go. I'm not afraid to think big. Let's go. And I was not afraid to have Aaron Rodgers play a couple of series as me and South disagreed. And I understood that, by the way. Why tempt fate? Why mess around? No, let him play football. Let him be comfortable a little bit. And it's not so much, I know it was kind of positioned this way. It wasn't so much, well, it's a new stadium, new uniform, new method of preparing for a game and, where you sleep, the commute to the stadium. It is more about Rodgers starting week one like an absolute superstar. And I thought this would kind of speed things up a little bit. I really did. Get him out there. Now, listen, I'm not saying you open up the playbook and you have him, pat the ball and just survey, 4 or 5 different reads. And if you get hit, blindside, you get hit. No, get the ball out of his hands fast, which they did. It was great. I think it was so advantageous, not just for Rodgers, but the huddle. Becton on the right side. All the moving pieces, the new voice, the new cadence. It's time. It's time. Now, I won't say, I've never said this, and I'll never be this guy, because who wants to be this person? I'll never say that seemingly the most unsalvageable situation, and we've thought that about the Jets for a long time, the Mets at various points, the Knicks most of this century, right? That's just depressing to have to latch onto that as your forever fate. So I'm not that guy. I'm generally an optimist. I'm a realist, but I'm an optimist going into any endeavor. So I'm also not of the if the Jets don't do well this year and don't meet what we need them and hope that they meet, and Rodgers falls short of the expectations I just laid out there, right? If those things happen, I'm not going to be the guy who's going to say, that's it. You couldn't win with, never going to happen. No, that's not me. Because there could be some 9-year-old kid right now down in Alabama or Florida or California or Texas who eventually finds his way to the Jets and does it. That's how I'm wired. Eventually that person's showing up. But I believe that person's already shown up. And that's Aaron Rodgers. And don't tell me, he'll throw it 22, 23. Some games he will based on the opponent and the game plan. Aaron Rodgers is here to fling it. Aaron Rodgers is here to slice people up. I know Miami's good. When they get Jalen Ramsey back, I'm not sure. With Ramsey, without Ramsey, he is here to destroy them. I know the Bills are good. I get it. I know Tre'Davious White is healthy for the first time in about a year and a half. We are coming after you, and he is here to ruin your football existence. We got the Top Gun. We got him. And he's going to be absolutely awesome. 877-337-6660 says, all right, BT and Sal on the Fan inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Our friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guarantee lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. How about Frank? First up, Belmore. Frank is on the Fan. BT and Sal, Midas Sal today. What's going on, Frankie?
Hey, BT. I just want to say something. I'm 61.
Yep.
A little analogy. The first thing I think of, I'm an eternal optimist. I always think positive. Thinking back to the mid-'80s Mets, the first thing that comes to my mind, and I do appreciate the playoff series, the World Series, the first thing that comes to my mind is wasted talent. And if you think about that early 90s movie, when I look at this Aaron Rodgers-led team, they should have this sign above the walkway out to the field. The saddest thing in the world is wasted talent.
Wasted talent.
This team is oozing with talent.
Yep.
They need to get to the Super Bowl. They will get to the Super Bowl, and they need to be reminded every day how talented they are because they got to put it in gear and get it done.
Frank, let me ask you this. First, I love the enthusiasm. I love the mindset going into the season. If things change, I know you'll react and you'll change like I will. But right now, I think that's the smart way to take it because it's not unrealistic. But do you think they could do all of that with Aaron Rodgers merely being slightly above average? Does he have to be great?
He has to be great because he has to lead. He has to lead by example. That's why.
Okay.
And listen, you always need good fortune. You always need a little bit of luck. If you look at any Super Bowl team, you got to have that little bit of luck. But you know what? You make your own luck. And when they go out there and perform, they're going to get the breaks. And he's going to lead this team. It's got to be about Aaron Rodgers. He's got to have an MVP year.
Attaboy. I got you, Frank. Thanks for checking in, buddy. 877-337-6666. He has to, and I believe that he will. Patrick's up next in Melville. Patrick, what's happening, bud?
Hey, BT, what's going on? How you doing today?
Patty, what's going on, dude? I'm good, man. Ready to roll. What's happening?
All right, so I'm a Giant fan, but I'm looking at the game, and I got to love what the Jets are doing. I love the fact that, they're playing their starters. Aaron Rodgers wants to play. He's probably going to be an MVP candidate. I don't know if he's going to do it. As a Giant fan, I'm a little disappointed how they didn't really start the first team, and I think that the Jets are just kind of moving with confidence. And hopefully when they meet in the regular season, it'll be a different outcome. But you know what? I think that you guys got a good team. I think you guys will be in the hunt. I don't know if you guys are going to be over the hump, but I think you guys are going to be in the hunt at least.
I think both teams are going to be in the hunt. Yeah, no, listen, I would have liked to seen Daniel Jones out there. I get it, like the old days, when the fourth preseason game was meaningless. You just, kids making the team and obviously scrapping for a roster spot. Now it's 3 games, although the Jets had 4 with the Hall of Fame game. But yeah, it would have been nice back in the. Jets and Giants starters used to play into the third quarter. I enjoyed that. I understand why things change. I get it. And by the way, the Giants have one thing the Jets don't have. That's continuity. So it's less important for them to roll out Jones and put him in harm's way because he's back. He knows the system. He's back with Dable, back with Kafka. It's all good. Can I say one thing about the stadium? And I know that we all bag on MetLife. Trust me, I know that. I'm not here to do that. It is what it is. It's also a lot more expensive to build stuff here. I get that. The signage for the 4 Lombardi trophies for the New York Giants is barely visible. It's so embarrassingly small. It is so small. It's ridiculous. I tweeted a picture of it. I'm like, these things certainly and simply need a more prominent display inside of the stadium. What are we doing? I understand that you build the stadium. There's only so much space. Got it. The Ring of Honor. Shout out to Teak. I saw Teak's name, obviously. Eli Strahan, all the names, right? But to have, and again, I tweeted it from the stadium because I was at the game on Saturday. It's on my Twitter account. Go find it. It is minuscule. Like, you can't even tell. Those are Lombardi trophies, man. Those aren't like wild card appearances for a Major League Baseball team, or like even say like an Atlantic Divisional title for the Knicks. That's the Super Bowl. I don't get it. Get some flags. Get something. That is absolutely ridiculous. How little and how barely visible that signage is for the Giants' great history. I don't get it. All right, 877-337-6666. Brandon Tierney, Sal Licata Show. BT and Sal, minus Sal. He's on vacation. Right now, let's see. He's probably walking right through the gates of the amusement park with a 2-year-old. That's always a fun challenge, but awesome. All right, so listen, if you're just tuning in, to me, this isn't about, Rodgers being good and elevating the Jets. No, that's not good enough. This is about Aaron Rodgers being awesome. Aaron Rodgers being an absolute superstar and doing things that he's done many times. Rodgers, 10 times in his career, he's thrown over 4,000 plus yards. 8 times, he's thrown over 30 or more touchdowns. You do it again. Otherwise, you didn't deliver. I'm sorry. 877-337-6666. BT and Sal on the Fan.